Thank you. Good to see you. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good to be here. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and Cherry Ventures. I would like to start with telling you about my journey to finally get into tech and become an investor, which was anything than straight. I was born and raised in Vienna. I always wanted to become a lawyer, funny enough, and then really ended up studying law. And when I finally got my law degree, I decided differently, and I joined a management consultancy, McKinsey, because I was more intrigued by working more internationally, working with smart people and doing different stuff. So I stayed on with McKinsey for a couple of years. But even more importantly, during that time I got to know for the first time people that thought about starting their own companies or that just started their own companies. And that kind of put a seed in my mind. And from then on, I knew that at some point in time I want to start my own company as well. Again, it took me some time to get to that point, and finally in 2009 I left McKinsey to co-found my first company, which was CityDeal, which we then sold to Groupon after some time. I stayed on with Groupon until or after the IPO, and then again decided to make a quite drastic change. I left with one of my co-founders to start another company called Quando, an online reservation system for restaurants, which we internationalized quite quickly and sold last year to Recruits Holding. And that was another point in time where I again changed gears and decided to change the side of the table. And I finally decided to become a full-time investor. Why am I telling you this? Because it taught me that as much as I'm a probably very structured and analytical person, when it comes to the most important decisions, at least in my life, it was my gut feeling that I always followed and which basically made the difference and always brought me on the next kind of track and kind of opened me really new opportunities. And I truly believe that as an early stage investor as well as an entrepreneur, of course it's helpful and important that you're analytical, that you're structured, but even more important that you learn to follow and trust your gut feeling. And that's something that I want to give to founders that I work with, and that's also that I want to follow when I decide with my partners to invest into a company. So let me tell you a little bit more about Cherry Ventures. I started Cherry together with my two partners, Philipp Dames and Christian Mehrmann. They are both also entrepreneurs by heart. They have been co-founding and building Zalando. We knew each other already for quite some time. We did a lot of angel investments ourselves with our own money. We've been first investors in Auto1 or in Flixbus, for example. And only last year, we sat together and thought what to do next. And we realized there is no real entrepreneurial-driven early stage fund in Europe. And at the same time, being founders ourselves, we also realized that to be a really successful early stage investor, you need to know what it feels to build a company from scratch, what it feels to go through all these ups and downs and finally maybe make an exit. And so we thought, why don't we build a venture capital fund that we always wanted to have as an investor in our companies? And that's exactly what we did. We started fundraising, institutionalized Cherry Ventures, and became a fully fledged early stage fund, fully focused on investing now. And we're now based in Berlin. We invest across Europe. We have 150 million. We always invest pre-Series A. So our first investment is always very early. It cannot be early enough, actually. The typical check size is between 300K and 1 million. But more importantly, given the size of our fund, we're able to significantly follow on afterwards, and that's exactly what we want to do. I would say there are three things that we do differently, or how we stick out. First of all, as I said, we are entrepreneurs ourselves. We know how it feels to be in your shoes. And we want to bring this experience of scaling companies internationally and selling them to your company. Secondly, I would say we have invested significantly our own money into the fund. So for us, this is also a venture, and we take a lot of risk by doing that. And we have, as investors, not only institutional investors, but also a lot of very successful European entrepreneurs, such as the founders of Zalando. And we want to bring that experience also to you as the founder of Cherry, or founders of our portfolio companies. And thirdly, we want to get involved very early. Too early is actually not possible in our case, but we want to stay with you the entire journey. We want to invest basically in any stage of your company. So basically we have the deep pockets, the experience and the guts to stay for you or with you the entire journey and hopefully until the glorious end. Thank you.